Hey everyone, I am your astrologer Brittany with Horoscope.com. Here are 3 things you need to know in order to make today, Saturday, April 27th, 2019, a success. Now the first thing I want to talk to you about is going to be right here where the moon is in Aquarius. So when the moon's in Aquarius, it brings our attention to the future, thinking about the future. Also brings our attention to taking a step back from our lives to see things in different ways, and also being out and about socializing with friends. So that's what the focus is for today. Now what we've got going on, the first alignment of the morning, right around breakfast time, is this moon in Aquarius making a sextile over here to Mercury in Aries. I think this is a good thing. The more that we can detach from some things going on in our life, to see the big picture, to see things in different ways, to loosen up a little bit, it's helping us to get more of an idea and understanding of who we are, of who our new identity is, of who we need to be, and of what we enjoy enough to move forward on. So I think there's a lot of positive things, either conversations with others or thoughts that you're thinking with yourself here about your identity and about what comes next for you that I really like, that I think is going to be good. That's going to sit with us for most of the day. The next alignment isn't going to occur until dinner time. At dinner time, this moon in Aquarius is then going to make a trine over to Mars and Gemini. That's another Mercury aspect with the mind, with thinking and communicating. That's also very positive. So I think what's going to happen here around dinner time, still we're going to have more conversations here about our future and about our life and about what's next with friends. Maybe we're going to be considering a bunch of different possibilities and opportunities with our future. But I think that these conversations that we have at the nighttime are going to be exciting, are going to happen faster, are going to be based on a new and different understanding of ourselves that we came up with or realized earlier in the day. All right, and that's all that's going on today. So the first thing that I want to leave you with, think about yourself, your identity, about your future in new ways. And I think it's going to open up some doors for you here to figure out what's next. Yeah. I like that a lot. Conversations are important. Thinking, considering your options key. Now the second thing I want to talk about, I'm going to go here to Mars. Mars is in a square with Neptune still. Okay, this is interesting because this is Mars-Neptune aspect is confusing. It's not the best alignment for thinking. It's not the best alignment for conversations. It's not the best alignment for strategizing about your future. But with the moon in such a good spot today, and with Mars as it's moving further from this alignment, about to make a sextile over here to Mercury, I do think that sometimes that this cloud of confusion, more or less, is starting to clear and is starting to break. And the reason why this cloud of confusion is starting to break is because we were allowing ourselves to intellectualize our experience more and to see things separate from our emotions, like separate and together from our emotions, and to consider new and different possibilities. And I think the more that we consider these new and different possibilities and try to get a higher perspective on our feelings, intellectualize our feelings, I think the more that's helping the cloud of confusion to pass and to leave, so that you can start to get more excited about your life and what needs to come next. All right, so I think that's the second thing that I want to say. The cloud of confusion is starting to disappear the more you open your mind up to different possibilities and to thinking in different ways about your past and about what's going on inside you. All right. Yeah. Yes. The third and the last thing I want to mention is going to be the retrogrades, number 3. Pluto just went retrograde. Saturn is stationing to go retrograde next week. And of course the North Node, its mean motion, is retrograde. So all these planets here going retrograde. To me, this is all about commitment, especially with Saturn there. Commitment to changing your life with Pluto, the change there. And I think now that we have made a commitment, an initial commitment to changing our life in some way, even if the commitment has yet to fully reveal itself, now you need to go back to redo a bunch of things in the past to line everything up together. So I think this is all about committing and removing any roadblocks, either that you have recently created or that are standing in your way from a really, really long time, so that you can move on. And now that we're starting to get more clarity about what our soul needs, about who we are, about what's next in our life, even if it hasn't fully, even if we don't have all the answers yet, even if it hasn't fully sunk in, but now that we have more clarity about what we're doing now in our life, what we want, our first order of business, especially on a third quarter moon here, is to retool the past. rework the past, is to remove roadblocks from the past before moving on. You know, third quarter moons to me, especially with this retrograde action, are not really about initiating new things. It's not about, let me take one giant step forward to do what I want. That's what new moons are for. Third quarter moons are more for, okay, now that I made the commitment of what I want, let me review the past. Let me go back and fix old things. Let me sit with this emotionally and work some things out so that I can move forward. And that to me just echoes what's going on here in the astrology. It's kind of counterintuitive. When we make a decision to commit to something, the first thing we want to do is say, okay, let's go do it. Let's go make it happen. I'm going to take the first step forward right now. And the first step, now that we've made a big commitment to change our life on this day, is actually to go backwards to get rid of all of the obstacles that are stopping you. You know, it reminds me of a quote I've heard again recently about a sculpture. There was someone who did a famous sculpture, and someone asked this sculptor, how did you make this sculpture of this person? And he goes, I didn't make the sculpture of this person. I removed everything, all parts of the cement or all parts of the marble that were not this thing. And that's when, once I removed everything, I found out that I created what it actually was. So that's how I feel about this day, is it's actually removing things from your life at this point in time that's going to help you create the life in the future that you want. Don't be afraid to remove things, people, as well, in order to move forward. All right? So that's your daily planetary forecast for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you tomorrow.